Welcome back to Flavor Cafe. I just wanted to shoot a quick video out. Things are starting to slow down, but there's still a lot of things going on out there with social media and some of the things that people are saying. And I just want to bring up a couple of points that people really should think about, right, when they're making their statements. One of the things I'm hearing people say is, black people are lazy. Just lazy. They don't want to work, always looking for a handout. All you guys have heard that. But I would like to assume for a second, all black people are lazy. So what does that really say about white people if black people are lazy, right? So you went and robbed a continent of millions of people to bring them to the Americas to work for you for free, right? You didn't pay them, right? You'd pay some other white guy to have them come over here, right? Because maybe you was too lazy to get them yourself. But you did all of this to build your wealth with people who are lazy, right? How did you get your cotton picked? How did you get your tobacco taken care of? How'd you get all that? I mean, they're lazy, right? So how'd you get all this done? Because there's no way in the world they can't be lazy, because they're lazy, like you keep saying over and over again. If black people are lazy, what does that say about the IQ of the plantation owner who was using blacks as his labor? I think that's an interesting point, right? Of course, that can't reflect on white people's IQ, can it? I mean, black people are lazy. You bring them to America, and other than America, right? Bring them to UK, wherever y'all at, to do labor. But hold on. I always hear these same white people talking about they're hardworking. They are, they're smart. They're intelligent. They make quality product. Well, if the black people are lazy, why didn't they just use white people for the labor? Well, why wouldn't they have done that? Unless the plantation people were retarded, like completely stupid, very low IQs. Because there's only one way. If I have a job today, let's just say it's yard care. Why in the world would I want to hire somebody or have somebody working for me, regardless of the wage, that's lazy, good for nothing, doesn't work good? Why would I do that? Unless something's wrong with me up here. So I would just like to hear what what's their explanation when they say that we're lazy. What does that say about them and their plantations and those type of things? But then they say, well, that was a long time ago. But today in the South, with the chain gangs, right? Down there, somebody goes to prison, and that's another topic, like how we get there and all this other kind of stuff. But they're lazy. But why is it that they're trying to make them do work, right? Things that the prison gets paid for. I mean, these people are lazy, right? But you want them to serve hard labor, right? And they're doing it. So you mean to tell me that most of our license plates are made by lazy people? And again, what kind of person, because it is a business, don't fool yourself, has lazy people doing things for them that's quality work? I just think that's interesting. But more than that, I mean, it only comes to the conclusion, in my mind, that if you're right, black people are lazy, then that means you're stupid, right? It's like you're trying to, you need to put a nail in some wood. So you're using shoes, right? Because shoes won't get the job done because the shoes would be like lazy, right? But what's that say about me if I'm trying to hammer in a nail with a rubber shoe, right? You got to use the right tool for the right job. But you're saying that the plantation owners weren't using skilled labor. They weren't using good labor. They were using lazy people to get their work done. See, people, these racist people, their IQ is just, I don't think they realize how stupid they sound when they make some of these statements, right? I mean, just completely dumb. And they don't know the history, right? Now, talking about stupidity, how stupid do you have to be to believe your own lie? Like, you start the lie, you repeat the lie, and then you just stand on it like it's the truth today. And it's like, wait a minute, you don't know your own history? You're just showing the world how stupid you are, right? I'll give you an example. Your main thing, you're always talking about Christianity and keep the Lord in it and all this other kind of stuff. But you've burned, terrorized, destroyed more churches than any other group in the United States. All right? Right? You say you're not racist, all right, but you burned, killed kids, everything in churches. All right? You took those down. And then, right, that's the little bit of thing that shows your stupidity. And the big thing is you got these big, beautiful white Jesus hanging on your wall. Jesus had a brother, right? What was Jesus's nationality? What did his brother say about his nationality? What's interesting is we know that the Romans were in the area at the time. The Romans were the whites. Did they consider Jesus one of them? Did they? Huh? You're not going to say he was an Arab now, are you? But there's clear documentation of what the Romans considered those people that Jesus' tribe came from. What was that? I think there's two things. They thought he was like the Ethiopians or the Egyptians. But you just watch TV and you see some white person playing an Egyptian, a pharaoh or something like this, so you think now the Egyptians were white, which again is your stupidity, right? But they thought that his tribe was from Ethiopia. What would make them think that? And then, have you not read your book? Right? Have you read your book? Hair like wool, right? Feet like dark bronze, burnt bronze. But yet you think this guy is white? Or do you think he was just dirty? But your picture, either way, is totally inaccurate. But you fight for that, right? And you show the world just how you don't know your history. You don't know history. Your main thing you cling to is your God and your guns, and you don't understand anything about your God. You just go to spurting out whatever feels good. But it's okay, the rest of us, we see you. We see you. The last thing I really want to talk about is this whole thing, the black on black crime. You're quick to call out black on black crime. Oh, how bad it is when a black person kills another black person. But don't you think you're just a little hypocritical? And again, this is going back to your IQ, right? How many white people were killed in your war for independence? Why don't you tell me? Why were you fighting the British? I mean, there were white people, right? You're white people. Well, what was y'all fighting for? White people are superior, right? You're all great and wonderful, and white man's being oppressed, right? But, who was oppressing you during the United States War for Independence? It must have been Africa. Was it Nigeria? Was it? Oh, no, no, no. Britain. Yeah, you had to fight from the oppression of Britain. You celebrate it every year now, July 4th, your war for independence, right? From what? Tyranny, oppression, taxation. No, 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 no. Who was doing that to you? Couldn't have been the British, because that would be white on white crime, right? Because you're saying that you think the British were committing crimes against you, right? Taxation without so on and so forth, right? We all know it. So that can't be right, because white people don't have white on white crime, do they? And they're not violent, are they? Well, let's just forget about that, right? Let's go in then. What came next? Oh, the Civil War. You say, oh, so many people died for us, right? 600,000 white people killed. Over 600,000 white people killed. Who killed those people? What? Did some black people kill those 600,000 white people? Oh, wait a minute. That was white on white crime in the United States. Yeah. And guess what? It was one group that was trying to murder the United States and tear the United States apart. What do you call those guys again today? Oh, terrorists. But, you guys are smart. You're intelligent, right? They couldn't be terrorists, right? Even today, they're running around with these Confederate flags, talking about they love their country, so on and so forth. But wasn't the Confederacy the biggest threat to the United States of the time? Right? Actually, I would probably argue ever. They actually took up arms and murdered Americans, right? For whatever the reason you say, right? Then we get into World War I. This had to be in Africa or Asia or something, right? Right? Because we don't have white on white crime, do we? Right? Oh, dang, another one. World War I. All of the world, basically, because when Europeans say world, they basically mean white world. Right? You guys were murdering each other horribly. Took all those weapons you guys got. You dropping bombs and planes and killing women, children, babies, all kinds of stuff. Right? How many people hit? Over 13 million. Right? The numbers are all different depending on where you get your number from. But over 13 million whites dead for white on white crime. Actually, since it was Europeans killing Europeans, wouldn't that be genocide? Interesting. But you guys made up, right? Because you guys are smart. You guys fixed it. You made up. You shook hands, whatever. You got to be great. Then there was another war right after that, right? The rest of the world who's not very smart must have looked at you and said, "Oh yeah, let's us get into some fights because we're savages." Oh, dang, I forgot about that too. That was more white on white crime, right? These white people were destroying the whole world. Gosh, how many people? Over 70 million. I think it was over 50 million killed in the war, right? Meaning that the over 50 million people died that were actually part of combats. That would include people, so when they were just dropping those bombs on entire cities, right? Those people. And then I think it was another over 20 million people that died from disease and those type of things as a result of the war. So, right, over 70 million whites dead. Dead. Yeah. And then, but, you white people aren't very violent, are you? No, not very violent. I mean, so we got 70, 80, oh my gosh. Right? We're looking at over 81 million people dead. Europeans because of white on white fighting and crime. Oh my gosh, it's just horrible. But I'm sure you got an explanation for it. There's whatever. It's not like you look at Africa and you start judging them. You even though they're different countries. See, I have to use your logic, right? So when they fight, you just say it's genocide, right? So it's got to be genocide in Europe as well, and it's got to be white on white crime because you tend to notice that a little bit. And again, you say we're violent, but I don't recall any African, Asian, Middle Eastern who invented the most destructive weapon of our time. Who? It had to be African country, right? Because they're violent. They think about ways. Being violent means you're thinking about ways, or all you think about is hurting people, right? So we got this thing, this nuclear weapon, atomic bomb, right? We could just drop it and people can disintegrate, right? Who invented that thing? Who? Again, Europeans, right? People from Europe. Wow. Apparently, we created a weapon that was as bad as that. Nah, I don't think so. Right? Remember, that's how you enslaved us. We didn't have the weaponry that you guys had. You guys had advanced weaponry for the time. You still have advanced weaponry today. Right? You lead the world in advanced weaponry. You lead the world in ways to kill people. But yet, you refer to us as violent. Everywhere you go, you bring murder, death, and destruction. Right? You have all these wars, murder, death, destruction, whole continents. Right? Then I'm going to move to something maybe a little bit more current. And you're talking about the good old boys, right? The police, the good old boys. There's no way in the world us black people are making stuff up because the police are good people. And if just we would, comply or go along with the rules, we wouldn't have it so bad. But you know what I've been thinking about is the police are cowards. They are cowards. Have you noticed how many it takes to take down one person without a gun? Right? 3 minimum. Usually you're going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Remember the Rodney King beatings? How many cops did it take to fight one black man? Right? And the cops had guns. What did Rodney King have? You say, but that don't make them cowards. They just had to get the guy under control. Well, I would say that from a lot of these police murders, and we got to call it what it is, it's murder. What is their number one excuse when you guys let them off the hook? I was scared for my life. That's always their excuse. They're scared for their life. And then you guys run around saying, well, yeah, they were scared. You can't put them in jail. It's part of their job. They're policing these rough neighborhoods. Da, da, da. Why are they so scared? So when they go to court, they basically say, look, I'm a coward. I was scared. I was scared of a single black guy with no weapon. He reached for his cell phone, so I had to shoot him. Oh my gosh, he was 6'2". I had to call for backup, strangle him all the way till we get to George Floyd. The man was handcuffed on the ground. This guy's on his neck. Cowards. That's what I'm saying. Cowards. And that's the excuse they use all the time. Feared for their life. They were resisting arrest. But police had to take some kind of exercise courses or something to, they had to pass fitness exams. I noticed a lot of them got pretty big guts. Right? Stomach sitting out here. Probably can't run 5 feet. So you're weak? Okay. You're not trained? Don't they get trained in combat and those type of things? And just some street guy puts fear in your heart. Cowards. Cowards, cowards, cowards. Well, the last thing I'm going to talk about is stop worrying about our genitalia, right? Back when you lynch, what do you want to do? You want to cut people's penises off. You are just so entrenched with the black man's sexuality and manhood, right? You're cutting off penises. You're sodomizing them. And by the way, not one-on-one, right? You're not doing this one-on-one stuff. You're cheating, right? You get a group of people. You get guns against those without guns. You get more than enough in numbers, right? And that's the only way you can get done what you want to get done. And you think everybody wants your women. You know, I think you really should take a drive or stroll through the hood. I see a lot of white women finding their way down to the hood, and they're not being dragged down there. They're not being forced down there. Seems like to me they like it. Actually, if you leave the country, go just about anywhere else, seems like you see a lot of white women over there too, looking for somebody other than white guys. Is what it is. But the white girls that stay with the white guys, maybe that's why they're so angry all the time. I don't know. Well, signing out this weekend. I'll still be doing the video where I'm going to talk a little bit about Kanye running for president and my thoughts on that. Have a great day.